Yo, yo, it's Tony D back. Have a good one here. I was cruising through some of the back stock and I ran into this cover by Julian Tedesco and I really enjoyed it. And this is a nice cover. I love the loose style there. Of course, the skull is Daredevil's face and just the way the eyes are done like that. And you have all this stuff going on here. Really good. And the black and white gray tones. Red always goes good with that type of color tone. But actually, I read it again. I don't remember reading this story arc. Um, Writer Chip Zdarsky, art Marco Checchetto. I didn't read this story arc, but it looks like Daredevil, someone has killed someone, and the Punisher's thinking that Daredevil is the one that did it, is what I was getting from it. But this is what's really got me thinking, and that's what's cool about comics, how it gets you thinking about stuff. Sometimes they're just for fun, but this one really got me thinking about justice. What's the definition? Where does it stop? Where does it end and start? It's really, man, it's more complicated than what's really there. It's, the Punisher, he's very binary, of course. We all know that. You're a criminal, you're done. Daredevil, he's a lawyer. He has laws. It's not really emotional to him, it feels like, when I'm reading this. And the Punisher, they banter back and forth, and the writing is it's slick. It's really good. It's the Daredevils. You coming around, Red? And he has a man tied up there. But the Punisher is really just telling Daredevil how phony he's been. It's like the Punisher looks at Daredevil like he's a poser. He thinks he's a hero. He thinks he's doing good, but he's letting people live so they can create more victims. He even makes a comment in here how you create more victims so you have more people to care about. And Daredevil knows, yeah, this dude's in trouble right here. But they banter back and forth about it. It's really an age-old thing in comics. When he even mentions Daredevil, you break the law to get done what you need to get done. And that was where I started thinking. I was like, there's really two definitions of justice. There's law, and then there's your experiences and emotion. Like what you experience emotionally really can define what justice is to you. We know that the Punisher was created out of his family being killed. Think about it, yeah. Your definition of justice would be whack everybody. That's a criminal. But Daredevil's about law. He's a lawyer. It's there. You could even say justice is blind, it fits, right? I wonder if that was a I wonder if that had something to do with making the blind hero a lawyer, the justice is blind thing. I don't know, something to research. You never know. Yeah, the Punisher, they just go back and forth, and the Punisher lets the guy go, and he's proven his point. We've seen this numerous times where, the bad guy, he picks up a gun and Punisher, boom, does what he does. And now he's, hey, that was self-defense. Is that okay? And the Punisher or Daredevil's just had it. He busts out, and they keep bantering back and forth. When these two get together, it's always interesting. I always like it too. It's good action. I think the whole thing about writing subject matter like this, it's really for you to think. You know what I mean? Use your own mind, come up with your own conclusions or ideas. I think that's real important. A lot of us that read comics, I think all of us that read comics, that's what we do in our mind when we're reading them. We're forming based off of our experiences, emotion. So I wonder if the emotion, if law is put in place to keep the emotion in check, like a balancing, maybe that's the scales of justice. Maybe that's why that maybe you need something to balance it out. Because over time, there is a forgiveness thing, but Punisher ain't about that. I don't know. Just a good example of how comics are fantastic. Makes you think about things, even as deep as philosophy. A lot of people don't, and that's kind of cool at the end where he's doing that. I'll have to reread this whole story arc, but a lot of people they think comics, they still have that that perception that comics are for like just for little kids. And they are. Some of them, not this one, but it's comics have matured through the years. It's getting E. Gerber, fullback, and the 2 mil. Yeah, I guess that's the point. Really, is just comics have matured. The writing like that gets you thinking like that's pretty powerful. Well, I love it. It does more than stretch your imagination. It stretches your thought, your whole thought process. Yeah, this video is a little different than some of the others, but you still got to get it.